Kenobi's corner, Kenobi's corner, Kenobi's corner. Did
you see that picture that Ashley posted a little while ago?
Yeah, I did.
Why were you sitting on my lap?
It's comfortable.
I don't know. I was gonna say. Wait until 5 o'clock to have a drink. Best seat in the house.
Yeah.
And welcome to Kenobi's Corner. I'm John, and this is Eric. Say hi.
That's so backwards.
I know. We were here again to talk to you this week about everything sci-fi, fantasy, comic book related, games, you name it, we'll do it.
No, we won't.
Okay, no.
But this is the things we find interesting,
we
at least.
name it. We name it, and then we'll do it.
I like that so much better.
We name it, we done did it.
We done did it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Welcome, friends and loved ones, to another great week.
Yeah.
You damn right, yeah. We did a bunch of great things. A lot of great news came out. But on top of that, we also saw a little movie called Alien Covenant.
Yeah, we did.
Dude.
Yes?
We're going to talk about that later.
Hell
so
yeah,
don't get excited about it now.
Okay, I'm just going to throw it out of my mind. We got a lot of other crap to cover.
Put that in your back pocket. Save that juiciness until later.
Okay.
It's a juicy review. It's going to be a juicy episode.
Well, that's just because you brought Starburst.
I know, man. Ugh. It's like trying to talk through a bucket of water. Like, it's... That was a terrible idea.
You're all juiced up now.
I'm all juiced up. I don't like it. Starburst, you were a friend up until today.
It works though, man. It's all
good. Well, let's dive in.
Yeah.
Dude, so a lot of things went down, but I think one of my favorite things that came out this week was that Kevin Feige had an interview, as he does. It seems like he's everybody's.
It seems like he does a lot, right? Yeah,
dude. It seems like there's somebody constantly following him around saying like, "Hey, did you hear this? What do you?" And he's like, "Oh, again, sweet Jesus,
all day, every day."
Yeah. Dude. But I think. It's kind of, heavy does lie the crown because these people that are heads of studios, the same things for Star Wars and for Disney and any of these large properties that we follow. Everybody's always on the pulse and like just on top of anything that they say and how they can, construe it to mean something. But with that being said, they talked about the likelihood of an Avengers versus X-Men, coming to the big screen.
Yeah.
He said he would love the idea, but of course there's really nothing in place.
Probably not going to happen.
But I mean, I think that's awesome that it's at least something that he'd be interested in doing. What do you think, man? Like,
dude, okay, like I don't even. It doesn't even give me any kind of hope because of the things that he said, and like, because it's two different interviews that I think people have spliced together here. At least the article that we have is from IO9.
Yeah.
And dude, okay, so first one is like an interview that he did saying about how. And this is the one that gives me like no hope at all, saying that it's like a lot of people doing a lot of things in the background to make the Spider-Man thing happen and allow them to use Spider-Man here. But that's not indicative at all with what's going on at Fox. And like, he just doesn't think it's going to happen. And dude, like, why the hell even talk about them coming together if he knows it's not going to happen at all?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool, and it's nice that he thinks so, that he would love to do it if it ever did come to pass. But, man, that's like the other interview makes it so discouraging that it's never, like in our lifetime, we will never see this happen, it feels like.
I don't know, man. I kind of, like, I was thinking that way as well. But I think he's just trying to play it cool.
You think so?
Like, I honestly think that there is something bigger in the works. And there's always something bigger in the works, I feel like, and we're just like at the tippy tip of the very back of what's going on because they
what can happen.
Well, yeah, because there's so much stuff going on. There's so much stuff happening.
Yeah.
Because there was something that came out they've had to be more they get more creative in the way that they're producing stuff and the way that they're showing trailers and featurettes and behind the scenes things. Because one of the things, and I haven't put the article in here yet, but I'll post it up with our notes here soon. So for Infinity Wars, before Guardians of the Galaxy came out, Infinity Wars had started filming, and we saw Josh Brolin doing film. We saw Chris Pratt and Iron Man. And what's his name? Holland.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
On set doing their stuff.
Yeah.
There were so many things of people posting like, "Hey, we see a lot of people here. We see Michael Rooker. He's here." And like everybody's just like, "Oh, well, everybody's coming back. It's going to be amazing." And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet.
Yeah, Volume 2.
Volume 2, major character dies. And if you haven't seen it, so this is spoiler, last warning, Michael Rooker, Yondu, dies at the end.
Yeah.
And so they asked James Gunn, like, hey, like, what's the deal? And they said, oh, well, we had to send him there. Even though he wasn't filming, we had to make sure that he was seen there because people were putting pieces together like, who's not there? What does this mean?
Damn, yeah.
Yeah. So they had to do some trickery, man, and send some people and send him out there, even though he wasn't. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's awesome that they bring it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know how much you really enjoyed that series, man, and I think that'd be awesome if they made like a big screen adaptation of it.
Of like the Avengers vs. X-Men? Yeah, dude. There's just some crazy stuff. Like, it depends. So the latest one that they did, because the latest thing is they did like a X-Men versus Inhumans, right? So that's the newest one. And I don't know, going back to the latest one, what was it, 2013, 2012 when they did the last Avengers versus X-Men? And that one was a little different. I don't think they could cover the same stuff they did in that storyline going forward. Maybe they would. Maybe that'd be the one that would, kind of spark something new, like after the X-Men do this next movie series, like whatever they choose to do with the Dark Phoenix stuff that they're coming out with.
Yeah.
So if that leads to a place where they could do that next, that'd be cool. But I don't think, even if they try to, I don't think they could do the same kind of storyline that they're doing in the comics, because the X-Men way isn't going that exact same direction. Where Avengers, I could see easily getting to the point where they would be able to do something like Avengers versus X-Men from the comics. I don't see that X-Men has the potential to do that just yet, because they're just so far away from anything in comics-wise.
What if this?
Fox,
forget that storyline. It never even happened. Once we get X-Men back into the fold with MCU, do you think that they would be able to say, that never happened, here's what's going on, and start with Avengers versus X-Men?
I don't think they could. Well, I think they could. It'd be really weird to start. If they could start at that point, but I think it'd be weird. I think they'd have to have at least one X-Men movie that set up all the events that would have to take place for this Avengers versus X-Men storyline, the latest Avengers versus X-Men storyline happened. They could go back and maybe do some of the old ones, and they'd have to do a little bit of setup for that too, but nothing like super crazy, I think, at that point. But for the newest one, it'd be difficult. They'd be hard pressed.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not like it can't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
I never would have thought that Spider-Man would have been part of like the Avengers
team. Dude, I know, never. Right?
And then like the Sony hack happened, and then all those emails came out that they were talking about it, and everyone was like, I mean, who knows? Maybe that's what pushed them over the edge. Maybe that isn't. Maybe it was already going to happen no matter what, and if the Sony hack would have never happened, then maybe this still would have happened. But it just really seems like that played a huge hand into it, where Sony was scrambling to just like, hey, we're a good company. Like, all those things you're reading in there isn't all bad. Like, look, we're going to actually do this thing that we said we were going to do and put everything else aside, and we're actually going to do it. So, I mean, I'm not saying that kind of thing has to happen at Fox, but the way that things happen at Fox, man, it just gives me no hope for anything. Yeah. Like, no hope at all. Like, even stuff that I hear lately about different stuff, like the second I think, okay, cool, like maybe Fox is doing something good, maybe they're doing something right, like all these other stories come out and they'll completely like just crap on something when they've had like a real like you give them gold, like you literally say, hey, here's a beautiful shining new gold nugget, like all you gotta do is put it out into the world, that's all you have to do, and you'll make tons of money. And then they go and like, well, you know what? It doesn't look, 100%. Let's go ahead and we'll do a couple of things with it. They'll throw in some lead in there.
You know how much bronze that gold can buy us? So much more than gold. Well, more doesn't mean better. No.
You don't understand.
All those bronze. Let's bring that in there. Look at all this bronze.
Oh man, exactly, dude. And,
okay.
But that doesn't mean they can't do anything good. It just doesn't. Yeah. It gives me no hope at all.
Okay, so Fox has screwed the pooch with the X-Men storyline numerous amounts of times. Finally, they got the Logan story presentable. They did a really great job with it, I feel, cinematically. Okay. And, as far as storyline, it wasn't as true to Old Man Logan. But, okay, say MCU gets X-Men. Get a release, boom. What do you think, what do you feel would be a great X-Men story that the MCU can start off with?
Ooh.
I know that's a deep one, I'm coming out of left field with that. I'm sorry. That's I
mean, it just depends on where they wanted to kick stuff off, because there really is so much good. I don't know. In my opinion, there's so much good story from the old stuff. Not a ton. They could probably wrap most of the Silver Age stuff in one swoop. Like, boom, you're done. And you could encompass all like being the original 5. Do a couple of storylines from within there, but make that into one solid movie to kind of, understand who the team is. That to me would be the preferable way to start. Even if they immediately go into like modern day, or modern age comics where they started with Chris Claremont and, that whole writing team that came up and all the different artists that did things through there. But they had a completely, at that point, the team was completely changed. The way they did the writing was different. Everything about it just changed so drastically from the old stuff. But to me, it would be really cool to do an intro movie of like, these are your core X-Men. These are the ones who started it all. And even if it is to the point of like set further in the past and stuff that's coming out, the next movie that would come out would be way in the future. But you'd get an essence of who they were before and why they started. Because I think if you jump into them just being like a modern team and with all the new characters that were there, even though they had a few things that were like indicative of the old stuff, like the first original 5 and their storylines really, really sold the mutant metaphor. Like they were really all about a world that hates and fears them and them try to go out there and save it.
Yeah.
And the new one just basically piggyback off of that old history. And I think you need to establish that again and need to make sure that people get it and understand it and can do stuff with it, And I wouldn't mind, like, I'm not a diehard, like, everything needs to be exactly the same. Like, dude, that team was a very just white team. Like, all just a bunch of, like, 5 white kids, like, coming together
5
to
white
do
kids
stuff.
from Whiteville.
Living in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, I understand you got to change a few things.
So
but
the 5 core were what? Cyclops, Jean, Beast, Iceman, and who else?
Angel.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
So the whitest one of them all, dude. White rich kid.
Easily made that guy Mexican.
Warren
and hell.
Worthington.
Oh yeah.
Bring it on him.
Oh man. Okay, I forgot his name was like Whiterson the third. So yeah, you really can't. Dang. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, well, that's cool.
But I mean, like,
but
you can still do some cool stuff. Like, I would love to see that type of movie in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever happen. I think maybe even society has moved past that. Maybe I'm the only one holding on to like the old classic stuff, and I want that to be a part of something. And maybe it just doesn't have a place in modern society. But I really think it could work if you rework it the right way.
You know what I'm thinking? That's part of this Dark Phoenix that's coming out is. It's right in line because it's going to be continuing off from Apocalypse. Yeah. And it's going to be from 80s to 90s. And I feel like in the 90s, it's going to be set in exactly the era that you're talking about, but it's not going to have anybody that you like. It's it's going to have a couple core people.
Yeah.
And I'll put in the other article that says in here that what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence and Michael Fassbender are coming back to reprise their roles again.
Oh God!
But I don't think Charles Xavier is.
Oh really?
But I don't know if James McAvoy is going to come back. I'm not too sure. But it is set in the 90s, so it'll be definitely more in that age and that time where racism was building up and the Age of the Mutants, and just a lot of the hate out there, and what was the name of that squad that they had with those armbands? What was those people?
Oh, the are you talking about oh my goodness, the
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
It's like some coalition. I'm maybe saying words that is messing you up.
No, because you got to be
It's some
thinking
kind of a
bunch,
group.
Like,
It's like some kind of organization. You're just like, no, wait, I have it right here.
you keep throwing other words out, and I'm like, no, it's not the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants because those are actual mutants.
Yeah.
And it's not the Coalition. That's something else. I can't think of it right now.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I feel like it might go in that, but it might also be riding the wave of the cosmic movies that are coming out: Thor, Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's going to be riding that wave of all these cosmic comic book movies that are coming out. And I feel that's probably where this is going to go with this one as well.
It might be, dude. The Purifiers.
Ah, yeah. Man.
I knew it would come eventually. It'd be there. But yeah, dude. I get it, dude. I understand. And I really hope. I don't know, man. I don't know what can happen. I don't want to hope in any way because I know my hopes are just going to be shot down. And that's going to be it. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's nice to know that they want it to. It's nice to know that the people at Marvel want to look forward to it, want to do something. They think it could happen. Well, not even think it could happen. They just would like it to happen. And we'll see, man. Maybe it'll take a bunch of money being thrown at them.
Yeah.
Maybe all those rumors will come to pass and Apple will buy Disney and they'll be able to buy whatever the hell they want because they'll have that kind of money.
No kidding, man. They're like, you know what, Sony, just give it back. Oh, $1 billion? Okay.
Yeah.
You got it.
Done.
Give it back. We're going to make $2 billion with it, man.
And yeah, dude. I mean, we'll see, man, because, with the other stuff coming out, if it corrects itself on the Fox side, then I think it could be okay. Like, I wouldn't mind it if it did that. But that's the thing, is it has to correct itself on the Fox side. Either that, or it's got to crap out completely and be the worst movies coming out ever so that they can just give the property back or sell it back or whatever the hell they need to do to make things happen and go in a better direction.
Yeah.
And that leads into the New Mutant stuff coming out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we missed the news last week. I guess it was like officially confirmed that what's his name? Josh Boone was going to be the director for the New Mutants movie. And it looks like they've confirmed Maisie Williams and Anya Taylor-Joy as Wolfsbane and Magic.
Yeah.
And dude, like, those two are, like, if this is all true and everything comes to pass, nobody changes any schedules, nobody drops off the movie or anything else like that, those two being cast as part of this storyline, dude, that would be freaking amazing. Because Maisie Williams in Game of Thrones, I love the way she does the role. I love the things that she can do. Like, it's freaking cool, man. Like, every time she's in an interview, I'm like, yes, I buy into who this person is and who they are and who they go and portray in a role.
Whoa, dude, settle down, man.
Dude, she's just awesome, man.
No.
She's really cool.
Dude.
She's really cool.
You know what? I wanted to see, like, it probably within the last few years, like, how much the name Arya has grown. And, like, people
Like
naming their
baby
kids.
names?
Yeah. Because it's so funny because the other day we went to the park and we're chasing Lily around, of course. And this lady yelled, "Arya, get back here." And I was like, "Oh, shit." Like,
that's awesome.
I know it's out there, dude. And actually, the truth be told, I think we were thinking about it, too. Like, that was possibility, one of those names. But
Arya. It's a cool name. It's
not
a bad name, dude.
Yeah,
and the character's awesome, dude. Like, she's just it's cool to see a strong, and it's kind of in a weird place to say now, but like, because girl isn't really anymore because she's kind of grown up on the show.
Yeah.
So like a strong young woman being on the show,
Yeah. And for her to actually make it this long, man,
yeah, dude,
killed everybody off, man.
Yeah, I know, right? She's been killing. She's been killing it.
I know.
She's been killing everybody else off.
She's been killing it.
But yeah, dude, the way she portrays the role, the way she does the role, it'd be a different way to do it for Wolfsbane because I think we've talked about it a little bit, so I don't want to get too far into it. And I mean, there's tons of articles online about how who the New Mutants are and what they are all about. But Wolfsbane, It reminds me a lot of Nightcrawler, man. I think that's what I said before also. It really is somebody who struggles with their past, and they have a religious part of their past, and they don't know exactly what to do or how their mutant part fits into it. She's been abused a little bit because of that, and her role in it is kind of how it started for Arya. Like, she kind of wanted to be something, but at the same time, like, being torn down and kind of suppressed by everybody else. And then Anya Taylor-Joy, I don't know how to say her name. I don't know how to pronounce her first name.
What else was she in?
I apologize. Dude, The Witch is the thing that names here. And Split. She was the lead in Split.
That's right.
But dude,
she did an awesome job in Split, man.
Dude, I think she did a great job in Split. But again, it'd be a little bit of a role reversal on it. So in Split, she's kind of like the loner. And, but when it comes to take charge of the situation, like in the situation they're put in Split, she kind of shines and is able to take over a little bit. And, dude, Magic is, oh, man, I'm telling you. I keep saying it in real life, and I know you're sick and tired of me probably saying this, but Magic is one of my favorite X-Men.
I know she
like,
is.
all time, dude. The way, but dude, her story, man, like the story of her coming up and the story of her past and what the hell happens for her to, like, and her growing up is, dude, it's so freaking messed up, dude. And she already played a little bit of that in Split, like her upbringing was not anything crazy. Sorry, it was crazy. It wasn't anything that was normal or should have been normal. Like, people should have thought that was absolutely the crappy situation you could be in. And she already played a little bit of that. So it would be easy to translate into what Magic is, and I think she can. And I think you have to play that role, though, a little bit more. She's got to be a little bit more outgoing in the role. And I think she can do it. I mean, it doesn't seem like she can't do that. But interviews and stuff, I mean, her personality, I think just as who she is as a person would shine through and bring it into that character. And I think it'd be totally, totally fine.
Because what's Magic's power set? Like, is it similar to Psylocke's or?
No. So, dude, Magic is like, dude, she's a teleporter more than anything else. But she also has like literal, almost like dark magic type abilities. She doesn't use those. It's not like a Doctor Strange type magic. It's very much she's connected to Limbo.
Oh, right
basically,
on.
more than anything else. And she has a different persona that also comes out every once in a while, known as Darkchild. If you want to freak yourself out, you should Google image that.
Right on.
But it gets kind of crazy. The sword she has is called the Soul Sword, and it literally came from out of her in the storyline of her growing up. She grew up in hell, basically. She grew up in Limbo.
Oh, wow.
Which is it was horrible. And she was trapped in there for what for everybody else seemed like a few hours or maybe a few days, but for her it was like 7 years.
That's crazy.
It is absolutely ridiculous. She's Colossus's little sister. Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, like, the character to me is freaking awesome, man. Like, it's really, really cool. And I mean, I want to see what they do with it. Hopefully they don't screw it up. And this is why it's so hard for me to look at any of the X-Men stuff and be like, oh, okay, it was okay, but that's fine. Because to me, either do it right or don't do it at all, because I love the stuff from the comics. Like, I love it. And for them to take stuff and take names and completely jack it up, like, it's not okay with me.
Yeah.
And so now you have a glimpse into why I'm so passionate about that stuff. But
dude, that's an awesome. I just found one with like Colossus and Magic back to back, kind of like a split screen, like them both in their different areas. That's pretty awesome, man. Dude. Cool. Well, I'm excited to see it, man. I hope it's quickly in development. Hopefully we'll get to see it sooner than later. And just hearing about it, man, I'm more and more excited about it.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, the news that's coming out for it so far makes me hopeful, because Josh Boone, I mean, I don't know who he is, but like, I know he did Fault in Our Stars. So, I mean, that's all I really know about him. I don't know how great of a director he can be or anything like that, but the way he talks about it and the way he talks about the project, or in the interviews, like the little interviews that he's done since he's been announced, it seems like he really likes like the New Mutants and the X-Men comic book type stuff. Like, he's into it, which I don't think anybody's like that. Bryan Singer's always like, oh yeah, like but he doesn't. You can tell like it's just BS coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And this guy, he seems like
I've read the comics since I was a kid, and I was really, really into this story.
Like,
if you knew that, you would have done it right.
But yeah, and I think Josh Boone, very, very different from what it seems like so far. He's saying all the right things, and I don't know if people are just feeding him those lines or if those are actually coming from him, but it really seems like they are so far. And if that's the case, then this could be their first venture on the big screen, like what they did on the small screen for Legion.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed, like, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Anyway,
two mutiny fingers crossed.
We talked a hell of a lot about mutant stuff.
Dude, I know, man.
That.
No, this is
taking up the whole episode.
It's good stuff, man. I really want us to dive deeper into this, and like, I really want us to do. I think in the next coming weeks, as this grows and as we get more information, I want us to do kind of like our power team of like, okay, if X-Men were to be rebooted today, what would be our group for the 5 core? Like, who would we want to, like, who's our power, like, ensemble cast? So we'll talk about that next time.
We can talk about that, and we can talk about the Demon Bear saga.
Demon Bear?
Yes. Oh yes.
Okay. Well, we'll have to talk about.
We're gonna get some crazy stuff going on here, Eric. Right, let me tell you.
I'm looking forward to it, dude. Okay. Well, closer. Let's reel it back into reality. The stuff that we know that's coming out. Spider-Man is but a couple months away, and they released a video on Twitter of an orchestra of this orchestra playing kind of like the the Spider-Man theme song from the 60s cartoon series. And they kind of done a couple nods to it in the old Spider-Man. Like there was just one girl like strumming it on a violin outside of the theater.
That's right. Yes.
But it's awesome to see like this orchestra playing this song and really bringing it back to Marvel's introduction into a solo Spider-Man flick. So if you get a chance, check it out. We'll have the link in the description. So I think it's going to be the main theme of the song of the movie, like as an intro.
It may be, yeah.
So that would be cool.
I mean, who knows? It might be. I don't know. It might be like an outro.
Oh yeah, that makes sense too.
Now that I think about it, like just because I didn't think of where they could fit this in until just now, until you said it, like as an intro. But I think it may be like an outro. Like as soon as the credit starts, this is what would play.
Because
possibly, I don't know.
Well, you know what, we talked about it a while back. The songs that we love and how they're so alike. And we talked about the Spider-Man theme song, and you said it was like something else. What was it like?
Oh, I don't know. We were talking about it with me or somebody else?
No. Remember, because we talked about it because it was a Simpsons theme song, and then there was another theme.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, but I know it was a while back. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm excited to see it. Like we're still a couple months away, but I'm tired of watching trailers for it because I feel like they've given the entire story beat by beat away.
Yes.
They did the kind of same thing for Alien Covenant, but we'll get down to that when we get there. But
so keeping Spider-Man.
Speaking of Spider-Man, yes.
Yeah.
Dude.
Boo.
Boo?
Boo.
Why? You don't like Tom Hardy?
I do not like Tom Hardy.
Dude, okay.
As his career has progressed, when he first came on the scene, I was like, oh, this guy's kind of cool. Like, oh, he's doing some really cool stuff. And I think it peaked when they announced him as Bane. I think that was about where I was like, okay, cool. Like, this will be awesome. And then the movie came out. And terrible Bane. Terrible. I didn't like. I didn't like it at all.
Okay,
like,
so before you continue,
granted, some of it was the directorial stuff.
Yeah.
There we go. I got the words out of my mouth. But the freaking mask and how he was talking in it, couldn't understand a word he said.
None of that is his fault.
No, false. Because I went back after that and I was like, okay, well, what the hell? Like, at first I was like, well, it wasn't his fault. Completely director, the stupid mask, whatever. Then movies kept coming out, and I was like, I don't understand a word he says all the time anyway.
Okay. Well, you know what? Okay, so I've seen a swath of his work, and I guess what we're trying to get down to, as far as and how it links to Spider-Man, is that Tom Hardy had been announced to be Venom in the latest adaptation of Venom in the Spider-Verse from Sony. Boo. So again, again the boos. But you know what, dude? Like, he like wrecked his body to like get in shape for Batman. Okay. And then also if he does a lot of different things. And Mad Max, he didn't say anything in that movie. He just got beat up a whole bunch. Mm-hmm. That really should have been called Furiosa, because it really wasn't a Mad Max movie. But yeah, I've seen a lot of his work. I mean, Inception, I thought he was good in Inception. He played this serial killer in Bronson. Did you ever see that movie?
No, I heard it was good though, but I was like,
Yeah, I mean, he definitely like. It's okay. You know, now that you mention it, it does sound like you're watching Snatch. Have you seen Snatch?
I can't understand a word in that movie.
You can't understand anybody, but you know it's a good movie. I think the same thing is with Tom Hardy, and he's in the movie Dunkirk, which is coming out soon.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yeah.
As like a fighter pilot, but
maybe that will redeem him for me. But
maybe
like
so,
right now,
dude.
No, not happening. I know. Okay, so like in the article too, they mentioned the article that we linked to in our notes. They mention that he just got the nomination for the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. The Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie?
I don't remember.
Leo DiCaprio and the bear attack.
Oh, The Revenant.
The Revenant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see why he got a freaking nomination for that. I mean, it was good. Like, the movie overall was like, it was pretty good, and I could see why Leonardo DiCaprio got nominated for some of the stuff in there. But I don't think his character was that compelling or different. Or
as a supporting actor, I think I thought it was pretty good. But okay, agree to disagree.
Okay,
but I'm excited to see it because I think he can bring the actual size and girth of Venom, to the role that Topher Grace couldn't, which is really weird to say that Topher Grace and Tom Hardy are playing the same role.
Agreed.
But I wonder what take that they're gonna do Venom in, because Eddie Brock as a character, I mean, he's huge, and how are they gonna do a Venom movie, without mentioning Spider-Man, or maybe they'll maybe allude to him, possibly?
I don't know. Unless they just cut ahead, but if they cut ahead too much, like he ends up with a bunch of the other teams, Yeah,
it's true. And, you get Agent Venom, you get the Venom squad of like all the different Venom types, you can bust out into symbiote where, well, maybe he's fighting Carnage, which would be freaking amazing, yes. Because I was thinking Anti-Venom is in there too, and oh my gosh, like you could really go down like the rabbit hole with him.
Yeah, dude, who knows? I have no idea where they would be taking this. Like, no freaking clue.
I'm really, really excited, dude, about, where they're going to be. Like,
I'm only semi-excited, because the last Spider-Man movie, I liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. He seemed like an old man Spider-Man, but, not teenage Spider-Man. I don't know why the hell they keep casting, like, older 20-year-olds, like, late 20-year-olds to play like teenagers and stuff like that. I don't even know if he's in his late 20s. Maybe he's mid-20s. No, he's got to be late 20s. Mm-hmm. Got to be. But that didn't make any sense to me. That was more my complaint about like that than anything else. Mm-hmm. But I thought he played a decent Spider-Man. He was a little too cool for school, but that's Sony, and that's my fear though, is that with this being a Sony-backed, Sony-done completely, I don't know if anybody on Marvel end is going to have very much to do with this at all. Mm-hmm. That makes me fearsome. Like, it makes me fearful, not fearsome. I can be fearsome any day of the week.
Yeah. And if you don't get your coffee in the morning, you're definitely fearsome.
Very much so.
But I think they got a good director. Ruben Fleischer did Zombieland, which I thought I love had a comic-y feel to it, but also was very gruesome.
Yes, it was.
Check out this fucking clown. I think it's my favorite line in that whole movie. But
there's some really good lines in that movie. Really, really great lines. But that one really sold a very dark situation with gruesome things happening, but really made it a comedy as well. Like, it was awesome. I love that movie. So hopeful, because it is coming from a good background with that director. Yeah. But to say Tom Hardy is a better Venom than Topher Grace, to me, is not saying much. Like, like, yes, he definitely is better Venom than Topher Grace. 100%.
The look, yeah.
Yes, but I mean that's not what's going to sell the character for me, man. I don't know if he can play the character of who that's supposed to be, depending on what take they end up going with, right?
But the look is like
the look is important.
I'm going to say the look is like 75% above.
No.
And the reason why is because we just had this discussion last week where we were talking about how terrible the Inhumans looked. And even with the look, they could be freaking amazing. But just because they look, we're already docking them a peg. Yeah. Before they even come out. So, again, agree to disagree. But
all right, fine, whatever.
But more to that to come because I was excited about Gambit. Just the fact that they were just doing a solo Gambit project, which is nobody's even heard of it anymore.
Yeah,
everybody's just jumped ship from that one. I think Channing Tatum is the only one that's still kind of hopeful for it, and even then, it's just like
he was a terrible choice to play that character.
Terrible choice. Damn it. There's so many people they could have done better. I think they should have cast John Carter for Gambit. I thought that would have been an awesome choice.
Oh yeah, Tyler. He was the Gambit.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was.
I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, dude, awesome choice. Terrible movie to get put in as X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's so funny. Fuck, she did right on that one.
And even then, you saying both Tyler Kitsch. I don't know how to say his name. That's the one who was Gambit.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
That's funny.
And Channing Tatum, I think both would be a way better Eddie Brock than Tom Hardy.
False.
Both of them, for me, way, way better. In my opinion, not the best choice. Really, really not the best choice. They could do well with him, and I really hope he takes it and does well if he's going to do it, because I want to see a good Venom movie, but I don't think he was the best choice for the role.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, if you like him, cool, you like him, and that gives you more hope for it. Awesome. For me, not so much. I want to see more come out of it. I haven't discredited the movie at all because I want it to be good, and I'm excited and hopeful for the things that are going to be coming out as this news continues to come out for the movie, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I don't know, dude. I just can't back the idea fully.
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
It's okay, man.
I didn't mean to knock it down a peg for you.
Hey, it's still up a peg.
Okay,
no pegs have been taken down.
Well, I didn't mean
I'll
to
still
take
watch it.
A pinata bat to that idea for you. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's still out there. We're okay.
We're okay. It's okay.
We're all right. There's no segue to go into this. It's just happening. We need to get to it. Well, dude, actually, this next this next piece ties exactly what we did the other day. Right before we went to go see Alien Covenant, we hit up a few comic book shops here in town. One of them was having a crazy sale on a bunch of like back issues and a bunch of volumes. They were like $5, man, which was an amazing find. And I found this Wolverine Noir series, this one volume. They had like X-Men Noir, they had Daredevil Noir, they had Luke Cage, just kind of like set like in the 30s and 20s, just early type of detective storyline, which was freaking amazing. So, but Logan in this new in the new release is gonna this past week
we talked about it.
We talked about it, but then they also had the release in theaters that it was in black and white. Yeah. And they had it for one day. I think Alamo Drafthouse did it.
Yeah.
And some of the reports were saying like they were enforcing like a strict like black tie or
really?
Yeah.
That's
but then they said like then they let it go and they're like you can wear whatever. But but yeah, so with that there was also some other information that came out about Logan and how the original opening of it was going to be the scene of the big like unspoken disaster that happened.
Yeah, what they keep talking about in the film.
Yeah, but they never show it. They they allude to it. Professor X, he's just deteriorating, and like his first real episode, he ends up killing all the X-Men. And pretty rough, pretty dark. and that'd be a crazy, crazy tone to start the movie with.
Yeah.
But with the interview with the director, James Mangold, he was just stating that, that was, man, he's like, if we open it with that, he's like, then the movie becomes about the death of the X-Men, not really Logan's story.
Yeah.
So I don't think they needed to show it. I think like that would be like the one thing that I would have been awesome to see is like near the end when Charles remembers, like he remembers like, oh my God, I can't believe like that's what happened. I remember it now. I don't deserve this good day that we had, I thought it would be crazy if they would have just been like one of those like little quick like cut scenes of like just like everybody just like screaming or something. Like it would be just like one like little cell of like just just out and in and be like, oh shit, I remember,
Yeah.
like, oh, what did I do?
Yeah.
One of those situations. I thought that would have been amazing, but I think
It didn't happen.
But the way they did it was really good.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? Should they have shown it? Like,
I'm really glad they didn't show it, and for like some of the same reasons that they said themselves, right? Like to keep the story like centered around Logan and Professor X. That's one of the things that they mentioned in the article. But the other thing is like leave it to the imagination of who and what happened and when, and to not definitively say like, oh, all these characters that you saw in the movie, like that are happening right now, that all died, those are for sure dead, and that's it. Period.
Yeah.
Like it really made it feel more of a like, well, what the hell? Like, do they all really die? Is everybody really out there? Like, did some of them make it? Like, could there be somebody else where they go off to find the location? Like, maybe there is somebody that did survive and now they're somewhere else and trying to rescue the rest of mutant kind or whatever. But I'm glad they didn't show it. I really am glad they didn't show it. Like, that would have, I think it would have taken me out of the movie to begin with.
I think, because I think that would have made it more of a grand scale. And I really did love the intimacy of Logan, like, because it really was a story of relationships between. It was almost like a father-son, mentor-mentee, relationship between Charles and Logan, and then it was a father-daughter story, toward the end. It was large in scale at what the grandiose things that were happening around them. But it was really just a story about them and their relationships, and then them just trying to make it. Yeah. And then everybody just trying to make it to the safe zone, whether it was real or not. Yes. So, but I'm excited. Comes out on Tuesday next week. So, was it the 24th, I think, on Blu-ray. It's out for digital download right now. But I don't know. There's a couple places, of course, they do the special tins and stuff. But there's a place that does it with a book, and I think we're going to go there. Oh, I'm going to go there. I don't know.
Go there. I'll go with you, and then depending on how I feel, depending on my mood on that day.
Okay, right on. We'll see what happens on Tuesday.
We'll see what happens. So the next thing is, let's move away, finally, from all this X-Men and Marvel and everything else.
I know. This is an X-Men heavy episode. Didn't expect it, but I like it. I like the way it went.
All right.
Especially since we have Alien to talk about still, and we haven't got there yet.
Jeez. Okay, cool. Well, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. There's
How
no
do you
easy
segue?
There's no
you can kind of
easy
segue because of what they're talking about, but the Mortal Kombat movie, I guess, is happening. Okay, so the writer-director talking about how the Mortal Kombat movie is like an Avengers movie, just really dark.
Yes.
A hard R, if you will.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's cool. I don't know. Like, show me something of the movie.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it's cool. Like, it makes me excited for it. Like, I really did. You watched them all, right? The X-Men. I'm sorry, the X-Men. We're so much talking about X-Men. That's all coming out of my mouth now. The shorts, the Mortal Kombat
Legacy.
shorts, the Legacy. Is that what it's called? Did you watch them all? Right?
Yeah.
Freaking good, man.
They were really, really good. And I know that they had first originally set them out to be a feature-length film.
Yeah.
And that first episode with Jax and Sonya and how they're detectives, they're working toward like finding a serial killer like Baraka, I think, that they were looking for, who was a surgeon who implanted the blades into his arm, and how he was going and killing people and eating them and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Dude, that was that brought it home to like real life.
Yes.
So I thought that's really amazing. And if they take a more grounded stance with the source material, I think that would be a really good movie.
Dude, the thing is the source material is everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like they've rewritten that thing even in game, like quite a few times.
Yeah. Like it starts off at one tournament and then it's like it ends with something
random
different
stuff, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, it's cool. Like the first movie wasn't terrible. Like the first movie was pretty good. Like I enjoyed that first movie a lot. From what I remember, I haven't watched it in a few years, quite a few years actually. But it was good, man. I remember it being good. I remember enjoying it thoroughly. And for them to say that they're going to kind of bring it back toward that, and then they keep alluding to it being a kind of like a reboot, and then maybe it's just like a different dimension, or it's continuing off of that first one. Like, I don't know. Whatever they decide on, just decide on it and give us the movie already.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go watch it.
Yeah.
I don't have any reason not to watch it. And I mean, if they did it in the vein of that, like super serious and dark, like the Legacy series, awesome. I'd be down for that. If they go a little bit more very dark comedy, very violent, very crazy, with a bunch of that stuff like a very dark Avengers, I'd be fine with that too. Like, just give me a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it can really take it anywhere, and a game about a game where fatalities are the biggest thing, like
right?
You know, they have a lot. They have a lot to work with.
A game where somebody gets their skull pulled out and the entire spine comes out with it, or you get frozen so cold that the next hit you take just completely shatters your entire body. Okay, yeah, it's going to be
I know
violent.
you haven't played the game in a long time because those are like pretty much
those are like Mortal Kombat 3 fatalities.
I was going to say like, 1, but 3,
no,
yeah.
3,
Okay,
3.
yeah.
It was more of a 3. It's the last one I probably played in the arcade. So.
Oh, wow, right on. Well, cool. Well, I'm excited to see how this develops, and hopefully we'll get something new as far as like casting news and stuff like that. We'll see.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Either way, I'm excited for that. Like, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, unless it looks terrible in the next previews or when the first preview drops, but it doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen.
No, not anytime soon, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, dude, let's head out to space. The final frontier, my friend.
Yeah, it is.
Because we just got a trailer for the Star Trek series Discovery. We watched the trailer a little while ago. What'd you think, man?
Look, I already said it to you.
You don't like it because
IRL.
In real life,
there's so many lens flares. Like
there has to be, man. I mean, JJ was the original.
He established this universe.
Yeah.
So it's all lens flared out.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because this is supposed to be set like many years before the Enterprise series.
Okay, yeah.
And so maybe.
Oh yeah, it's like the first one, right? Really?
Yeah.
It looks cool, man. You know what? Here's my thing. I think it looks good for a TV show. It looks great. But it's on CBS. And while CBS doesn't have a reputation of doing bad things, it's probably the one that's hardest for me to watch. Like, you have a DVR, you know, you subscribe to the full cable, you're plugged in still. You can just DVR that thing and then watch it whenever you want. I don't have that. I don't have a way to do it.
Isn't CBS the only the place where you can get it for free on the app?
Oh, God, no. Like,
who was the free app one?
The free app is CW.
Oh,
yes, like that. You don't even have to sign in. You download the app and you can play the shows. Like, legit, it's like freaking awesome. CBS has an app. You can't watch material the day after it releases, like most apps. Like with CW and everything, like the next day it's available. Like it's ready to go. With CBS, most shows you have to wait at least 7 days. So you're a week behind. Then you can only watch in their app if you want, and it only stays available for a little while, so you can't fall behind. Like, you have maybe like 3 weeks of leeway.
Damn.
And if you don't do it by then, you're screwed. Like, you don't have a way to watch it. You can pay to get every single episode of every single season, but that's just CBS. There's no add-ons, nothing, no other stations or anything. It's just CBS shows, and it's like $7 a month.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like,
that's
hell
dumb.
no. Like, what the hell? And then I think even then, it doesn't take away the ads that play in the middle of the show.
That's dumb.
It's so stupid, dude. It's stupid, and I refuse to pay it.
I wouldn't pay that.
Yeah. So
and I pay for everything, which is dumb. I just realized that. And you know what? I'm probably like the only person I know that pays for YouTube Red.
Dude. Yeah, you probably are.
And the reason, well, it's only because of I can save the shows or save
For the little girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and that's the only reason, and that it's worth it for that for that one thing alone. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that.
And then I don't get commercials, so I'm excited about that too.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, CBS, get step up your download game.
Right?
CBS, come on.
And who knows how this is going to be? I mean, in the actual trailer, they even mention like the CBS All Access thing, which is that app that you got to pay for. So I don't know. Depending on how they release it. If they release it in a way that I can watch it easily, then cool. I'll watch it. Man, and half the problem with some of this stuff is that the ads that happen in app, whenever you're watching any of this stuff, dude, oh my God. Like it plays the same ad every single commercial break, and it plays like 7 of them. And I'm like, dude, are you... I don't need Cialis. At this point, I will never even look at that product twice now because I've heard the freaking commercial like 30 times now, just trying to watch 2 episodes back to back, and then I'm done. Like it's over. So it's the way of the future. Maybe not the way of the future if it keeps going like this. Maybe people will go back to subscribing to cable if it keeps going like that. But make it easy for me to watch it, and I'll watch it. I don't mind watching the ads. I really, really don't. As long as I'm not watching the same ones over and over and 30 of them like in one episode. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. The trailer makes it look cool, man. Like it's a cool new Enterprise-esque feel to it. It feels a little bit like Star Wars. Like they're kind of like dipping their toe in like that success. Yeah. And maybe not as original as Star Trek once was. But I mean, it could be cool, man.
Well, we'll see, man.
Space and discovery. I mean, that's kind of the whole fun of it, right?
Yeah.
It used to be very sciencey, very discovery.
Yeah.
And the show is called Discovery, so hopefully they do discover a few things. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I don't think they will, but we'll see.
I mean, we'll see what happens because it looked a lot like Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, dude, it seems like nipping at their heels. Like Seth MacFarlane knew what was going on. So on Fox, a little road up the road from CBS, they're dropping pretty much a Star Trek spoof called, what's it called?
I don't even know. I don't even know the name.
The Orville.
The Orville.
Yeah.
That's
which
hilarious.
Is basically the name of the ship, and it's a space comedy drama written and directed by Seth MacFarlane and Jon Favreau of Iron Man fame and Swingers, but most recently Iron Man and
Chef.
Oh, Chef is a great movie.
Yeah,
don't you get me started on Chef.
Okay.
So it's definitely just a spoof on all things in space and basically about Star Trek, just a play on that. I mean, he's done the Star Wars episodes through Family Guy. So
that's right. Yeah.
So I think he's just making his rounds, going through all
all the properties,
all the properties out there. So it looks funny. We posted the trailer up in there in our description, so check it out. But it's coming around the same time that the Star Trek Discovery is coming out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to see the serious show and then a funny show, then there it is.
I mean, yeah.
And that little alien thing that he ran through, that's the voice of Jonah Ray.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of Nerdist fame, and he's also on the new Mystery Science Theater 3000. So
yeah,
pretty good stuff.
I'm gonna check it out. Like I would love to watch at least a couple of episodes. Like it seems like it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Already the jokes in it, like through the trailer, where I was like laughing. And I mean, I was never huge into Family Guy. I never really got into that. So
it's taken a turn. Like I feel like. Like the episodes are incredibly crazy, and I feel like the same thing happened like with Family Guy, with The Simpsons. Like there's this golden age of The Simpsons. We mentioned golden age of comics, but golden age of The Simpsons where it was just man. And there's just one theory out there where I think Homer goes into a coma essentially, but never wakes up.
Yeah,
because from that point in time, like the episodes get much more crazy. Like it just seems like a lot of them are grounded in the first few seasons, and then at this one period it just goes into like a random tangent. Like this could not be happening, So I think Family Guy's doing the same thing. It's just it's nuts.
It's not,
but
not fully on there yet. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, or not fully what it was.
Right.
But yeah, dude, it looks cool. It looks funny. It made me laugh. Adrian Padalecki's in there. Huge bonus for me. You don't even know who that is, do you?
Not a clue. You said the name, and I was like, John, okay? What's happening over there?
Most recently, she was Mockingbird on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I haven't got to there yet. I'm one season behind.
On the Orville, she plays the ex-wife.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Now you know who I'm talking
there
about.
we go.
But yeah, man, like it's cool. Like she's, I just think she's a good actress. I like the stuff she's in. She's got good comedy beats. She was in G.I. Joe, the second one. I don't even remember what the hell the little
Rise of the Cobra.
Is that what it was? Rise of the Cobra? Rise of Cobra?
I think it could be.
I don't know what it was. I don't really care.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was a fun movie to watch, and but she's cool. She's hot. What can I say?
Oh, okay. Here we go. Well, right on. Well, going into another thing you really dig.
Do I, or are you trolling me right now?
Destiny 2 is coming out.
Yeah,
And with that, dude, the biggest complaint that I remember of Destiny was that, yes, it looked beautiful, but damn, there was no single player mode and no story. And
there was a ton of single player mode, but the story was crap.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't crap. It was...
You already said it's crap.
Unfleshed out. It was... It had so much potential, and it just left it all in glimmer cards, and you had to read all of and put them in order by yourself to figure out what the backstory was to everything and what everything could be, which I think Bungie has done in the past. When it was Bungie before it became, or like when it was Bungie still with
Halo.
Yes,
yeah,
that's the one. I think that's precedents they've kind of set for themselves. But at the same time, like, man, they didn't flesh out enough of the story that was going on in Destiny for people to feel okay with it. And there was just so much potential left on the table. And dude, I was already excited about like Destiny 2 coming out. Like Destiny 2 from the first trailer, I was like, okay, cool, I'll be down with that. I played. God, I don't know. I don't even want to look at the amount of time that I've sunk into that game because I know it's like it doesn't equal a good amount of time.
Yeah.
It's bad. This is very bad for somebody to play a video game that much. And I haven't played it recently because I've been stuck in Zelda, which is, that's saying something. But when this stuff started coming out, and especially this gameplay trailer that they've released a little bit more of what things look like, how things are going to be, the way the gameplay is actually going to be, and it's still there. It's still the heart of Destiny. You can tell, man. It's just like they took the first one, polished it up, and then like re-spitting it back out and putting some cool stuff in story.
Was that kind of droid-looking character? Was he in the first one?
Yes, the one voiced by Nathan Fillion.
Yes,
he was. But yeah, dude. But the thing is he was always like a tower, or like as you're going into a mission, you just hear his voice and then you kind of narrate, maybe guide you around a little bit. Already in the gameplay and trailer reveal and what they showed, it looks like they're going to, at least for a couple of moments, he's going to be part of your fire team, like part of the people going out and battling with you. And that hasn't happened before.
Oh, right.
Like, so the NPCs normally stay in the tower. You only hear their voice. They don't actually go into battle and play with you. As a character, you can follow along and that travels with you along through a mission. And I don't know if it's just a little bit that's going to happen. Maybe that's just the opening scenes of the game and that's the only place it's going to happen. But the fact that we're getting it, period, already really cool. And I mean, they've been talking about it, man. They really want to. It seems like they really, really, really want to flesh out the story. Oh. I'm excited about it. September 8th is when it comes out. You get beta access if you pre-order. It's going to come out on PC, which it hasn't been on PC before.
Oh, right on.
So people are super excited about that. And man, like I'm pumped for this to come out, man. Like I was already. I love the game. I didn't need to be any more excited about it. And now that all the stuff has come out, like I really, I started pressing myself to finish Zelda a little bit faster so I can get back to playing Destiny. And then I'll wait for the DLC to come out for Zelda. I mean, we'll talk about that when it comes out. But yeah, dude, I really kind of just want to...
I went through puberty in that one moment.
Yeah, man, it's really cool, man. I'm excited. Really good. If you haven't checked out, we put the link to the gameplay reveal trailer in the description. Check it out if you're into Destiny. If you're not into Destiny, it's a fun game. I think it's on sale everywhere for like the complete pack. What I paid like probably $120 for, like all the DLCs and like the original game when it came out and everything. Like I think now you can get it all for like $30-$40.
Yeah.
So if you haven't played it, good time to jump in, enjoy the first stuff. Like you'll kind of get a feel of what everything is. And dude, the second one, man, I highly recommend this game if you like any kind of stuff like this, like first person shooter type stuff. Especially if you're into stuff with a little bit more of like a mission playthrough rather than just PvP. Like if you like both things, like a little bit of a mission playthrough and a little bit of a PvP type stuff, raids and all that good stuff, like it's really, really cool and really fun to get into. Cool, that's all I got to say about it. I'm done.
No, are you sure?
Yes,
Is there anything more?
Now that we've covered space, we'll continue in space. Because I really want to get into Alien Covenant because this episode is going to be super long already.
Oh, man.
And we haven't even touched. Oh, God. We've been recording for like an hour now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we'll wrap it up here with a few choice things. It was a movie. All right. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for hanging out.
We really haven't talked about it.
No.
You haven't been at work since we watched it?
That's true. That's true.
We didn't really talk too much at the theater afterwards.
No. Nope.
Because we did watch it at the same time.
Yeah,
so.
and it was really kind of late, and you had to come to work. So
Yep.
So let's do non-spoiler real quick, and then we'll jump like a real quick... Whoop, did I unplug me? Nope, I just
you're good. You're good. You just move the microphone. It's okay.
Not a quick non-spoiler, and then we'll jump into all the things. One, okay. What did you think?
Yeah. I thought it was good, man. I really enjoyed it. I thought it wasn't great. It wasn't the best Alien movie, period. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Prometheus.
And you really enjoyed Prometheus.
And I really like Prometheus a lot. But yeah, man, it just had a little bit more beats from the older stuff. And I think this is not spoilery because once you watch it, you kind of see what's going on. But it really does continue the Prometheus storyline, which I really, really enjoyed. I wasn't sure if they were just going to completely shy away from it and be like, okay, Prometheus was just a thing that happened. It really leaned into it, like really, really, at a few different points, and kind of at the start of the movie a little bit, and then later on, like it goes even harder into it. I was like, dude, like yes, like I want more of that. I like that movie, and I like where the universe can go from there. And the fact that they did it, super happy about that, and it made the movie more enjoyable. Yeah. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I really didn't see, like, there's a couple beats in there that I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I don't know where they're going with this, and we'll mention it in spoilers. And then there was a couple things that I was like, you know what, this is pretty good. Like, there were so many negative reviews out there, and I don't know, like... Okay, I can see a couple scenes, but like, man, they really bash it. And I was really looking forward to being like, or like not looking forward to it being terrible, but I was like thinking like, okay, where are the terrible parts coming in? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, when is this going to like crap out?
Yeah.
Like with all the reviews and the way they're treating it.
Exactly.
I hear exactly what you're saying because I felt the exact same way.
I was like, when is this going to get shitty? Because I was really expecting like them to like go toward the end and like just show like paper mache cutouts of them like running toward the ship, and I was like, oh, okay, this is exactly what they were talking about.
I was fully expecting to see the ship start rolling again and then still running a straight line. Yeah. I was like, if that happens again, then yes, I can understand how people thought it was bad. But no, dude, it like kept up for me the entire time. Like it was really good.
Really, yeah, me too. Good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, awesome.
I enjoyed it. I think it's a good movie.
That's a relief.
Yeah, if you watch Prometheus and you want a continuation of that story, please watch it. Don't watch any trailers. The trailers give so much away.
I don't know if they get too much away, but they do give a little bit away. To me, the trailers weren't really as spoilery as people made them out to be. Like, okay. I don't know. For me, and I guess just because there were still a bunch of other reveals, like from that, like after that, so they did spoil a little bit. but there was still so much more behind it and so much more afterwards and around all those scenes that I didn't feel like it was really that spoiled, unless I just didn't watch all the really spoilery trailers. But I think I watched everything. I don't think I missed out on very many.
Okay.
But I mean, I may be wrong. Maybe
Okay.
100% wrong. But I believe I had watched most of the trailers, even the ones that people said were too spoilery.
Okay, so let's go into spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen it now, we're going to talk about the twists and turns and ending of Alien Covenant, so don't listen at this point forward.
Yes.
But
yeah. Stop it here.
Stop it here. Go watch it and then come back.
All right. Unless you don't plan on watching it, then you can listen through.
Right.
It really doesn't matter to you.
Okay. So, the prologues.
Yes.
The Last Supper, I thought was an amazing, this is an introduction. They did the same thing with Prometheus, where... What was the thing with Prometheus? I remember they did something similar of introducing. They did something. Damn it! I wish I had it with me.
I don't know.
There was stuff that if you didn't watch the prologue and the before scenes, it really it helped explain the way. And I think because I saw The Last Supper, which was the prologue for Alien Covenant, it made me understand the crew and what they were going through more. Because yes, you understood when you watched the movie that yes, there are a bunch of married couples and they're on this journey together. But watching the prologue, you really understand okay, they're a core group of people. Some of them don't get along with each other already. There's some friction that's already kind of baked into the story, and you really don't see that. It kind of comes through a little bit later, and you're like, man, why the hell are they giving him a hard time already? Or it. I don't know. I think if you didn't, I don't think if you didn't watch the prologue, I think you would have got it still. But I don't know. I think I already was, because I saw the prologue. I was already in it already.
I don't know, man. For me, it didn't really feel that way.
No.
In fact, one of the people that we went with hadn't watched any of the stuff, and they still understood all that, and got all the same out of it.
Cool.
So yeah, they were married couples, but I think they explained it well enough, in the first few minutes of it, that they're going to colonize a new thing. But it's one of those things, man. Okay, so yeah, they explain it that they're going to colonize a new planet, what their intent is, kind of how things are going. But they do a well enough job of explaining it if you're paying attention. That's, I think, more than anything. People have to be really paying attention to this. And it doesn't necessarily make a movie bad for me, but it's a different way of looking and thinking about things. I enjoy things more that way than it really being dumbed down for people.
Yeah.
I hate when they do long explanations, talking to you like you're a kid, or talking to the audience as if they're children and they're going to miss things if they don't understand every single little thing about this. I'd rather things go kind of unspoken, kind of inferred and implied, and you just having to pick up on key phrases and things that are going on, rather than it be oh, hey, we're a ship of people that are going to do this and that, and this person is this kind of person, and this person is this kind of person, and here's their story of what went on beforehand and things like that. I'd rather just, hey, give me the meat of the stuff. Let me find out the rest of it through context clues, and I'm totally fine. Let's move on. I don't want to spend a bunch of time listening or having to have it re-explained to me, even if it's something that should be pretty obvious on the screen.
Yeah.
That's the way I felt about it, because it really, it did a good enough job of hey, this is what this person is, or this is what our stuff is, but in a couple of key lines, and then let's move on. I don't know, but I don't know. I haven't really heard of anybody going to see it that didn't understand some of that stuff. Have you? Or
No. Just my opinion. Just throwing it out.
Okay.
Yeah. But definitely, I felt the crossing, the second kind of prologue. Did you see the one where it was more of Shaw and David's relationship? What did you feel about that when you finally saw it? The big reveal. See, to me, that wasn't spoiler either, man. Because it was a completely different part of the timeline. The only thing that is kind of spoiler to me is the fact that they get to the planet of the engineers at the end. And I guess more because of when the crew of the Covenant lands on the planet that they're getting to, it really didn't make it obvious that this is the same planet of the engineers. With what the hell's going on. I didn't put two and two together until it was way later on down the line. I was
since the trailer, that prologue trailer stopped like right before they kind of land there or have any interaction with the engineers, I was like, did they have a bad interaction? Is that why the ship is now somewhere else? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is it like that? You know, it made me more think about like, okay, well, you know, maybe something else did happen. And instead of being like, okay, this is definitively what happened and the things that took place, maybe there was a kind of a misdirection. Maybe other things progressed that we don't know about, and there definitely was things that happened afterwards, but we didn't really see any of that. I think if they would have gone from the way it made it seem in the movie and the things that they revealed in the movie with David just dropping all that stuff on him. Like, I mean, a second later in that first trailer and you would have been like, oh, okay, well, this is what happened. You know, but that's what I loved about it. It ended like right before the place you knew of what the hell was going to happen. And I love that because, I mean, it really left enough mystery for everything else, like around what the hell was going on. Like, I was like, well, why did she die in the crash? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you talking about? Like, where's all this stuff coming from? And it made me more think about stuff than was like, oh, okay, well, I guess this is just what's going to happen. I don't know. Did you think it was pretty spoilery? Did it take you out of it? Or?
I thought so, because as soon as I saw, like, him start to explain, and I was like, oh, shit, this is exactly, like, I know what's going on. Like, I feel like I knew where it was going to go. And I felt like, I was like, man, that was an excellent scene. The crossing was a build-up of the relationship on how, like, bridging the two movies together was amazing. But it definitely, I think it just spoiled a little bit too much, because I felt like I was looking for stuff and already trying to, like, figure it out before then. So, I don't know.
What do you mean, like...
Like, I was already thinking, like, David's going to kill them and... with some kind of reaction, crash the ship and kill them. Like I knew that David was bad. Like, it's almost as soon as he started talking about like everything that was going on. I thought it was a great reveal. Like the twist reveal of his relationship with Elizabeth and the way they played it out was pretty cool, because when he described it and it was like, oh, well, this is where she's buried, you know, out in the garden and all this other stuff. I was like, oh, okay. But then further on, you get the real story of what happened and like his whole experimentation and all this other shit with her. I was just like, oh man, that's so freaking crazy.
Like, that's why to me it isn't too spoilery. Like, it does. I'm not going to say it doesn't spoil things, because it does. Like, but to me, it's just as spoilery as the bomb scene in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 with like that whole like Groot and Rocket like interaction that they had. They show in the trailer. It's a main part of a couple of the trailers that were released beforehand. And dude, like, that's just as spoiler to me as what this was. So for people to like freak the hell out about this being too spoilery, I don't think that was the case at all, because it was still, that's what I mean, is that there was still twists and turns around it. Like, as soon as they got to that courtyard where all the engineer bodies were like laid out and trashed, I was like, oh, like immediately I knew, oh, David killed him. Immediately I was like, okay, he did it. Like, this is what's happening. But like how and why, and you know, like the sheer like fact that he's having emotions, you know, that he did it kind of like out of vengeance and out of like, not vengeance, but I guess like vengeance against the human race overall, I guess, or any other kind of life than what he's engineered or is going to engineer. Like, he himself is becoming the engineer and extinguished all the past engineers. Like, to me, that was freaking legit. And even having that little bit of a spoiler, it didn't take me out of the movie. It didn't fully reveal everything until he started talking about things and started saying what he was doing. They went into those flashbacks and things started happening there. And then the whole reveal of like what exactly you said with Elizabeth and, you know, how their relationship ended up playing out because he's just freaking broken as a robot or something. That was really, really cool. And I really enjoyed the movie, and it really made me think after the movie, like even through the movie, not only then, like going on my way home, I was like, well, what the F? Like, why would he do that? Or what is really the core thing of what's going on there? And I don't know, man, it really like played up some other things that it didn't spoil. The trailer itself didn't spoil that for me when it happened.
Well, what about the movie itself? Was there any were there any scenes in there that kept it from being a great movie for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
Like, one of the things, and this is probably my biggest complaint about it, is that the movie itself was spoilery in the movie. Like, without it being any of the trailers, the fact that they show the whole healing scene when David stabs Walter, I was like, dude, why you got to do that? Like, now I know one robot is evil, one robot is good.
Yeah.
The good robot is definitely not the one that like is leaving this place because like the way things are playing out.
Yeah.
And while yes, there was still some kind of things that made me ponder afterwards, like the fact that he made it out, the fact that you know Walter, where's Walter? Like, what is he doing? Like, is he still there? Is he like gonna take over these aliens? Like, what the hell's going on? It's funny because I talked to Cody about this. I really wish they would have done one of two things. I really wish they would have either really leaned into the audience knowing that it is David. And I think if going back and imagining it in my head, knowing that it was David the entire last few scenes, I would have been totally okay with that. You know, because then you're in suspense of when are the characters themselves going to find this out? When is it going to be revealed to them that like, hey, you got the wrong robot on your ship? I would have been totally fine with that. That adds a whole different kind of suspense in those last few minutes, or completely left his face like unfazed because he wasn't healing, inconsistent with what just happened. It seemed a little off. You know, either don't reveal it at all, like make us completely believe 100% that it is Walter. Don't give us any reason to question him. Don't, you know, none of his face stuff, none of his attitude stuff, like until that very last moment when you discover it at the same time as the rest of the crew, or as Danny.
Yeah, when she figures it out.
Well, that would have been great, or the other way. You know, like letting us know, letting the audience know, and then characters have to figure it out, and that's part of our suspense. But the way they did it, like to let everybody kind of figure it out, like on their own before that I didn't like.
Because when did you figure it out? Like, because it hit me
immediately when he left the complex.
Yeah,
you?
When he had the scratches on his face.
Yes, for you or not?
You know what? I don't think. Oh man, then maybe. Yeah, I think it was because there was that one scene like when he helps her.
Yeah,
he says like, "Oh, it's my duty
to help." Yeah,
I was like, okay, like I was like, okay, that has to be Walter. But like I think the moment when they were going through the corridors and he was just like lingering on each second, like like that's when I was just like, oh yeah, that's for sure David.
Yeah. You see, and I mean like they just did too much. I'm telling you, if they would have left it the other way, right? Like if she would have been like, hey, do this, and he would have been like, boom, done. Yeah. You know, then at the last second when it's revealed, I would have probably been like, oh my God, like what the freak it is, like, you know, and it would have just been something in the back of my head. Is that really him? Because, you know, here it's like, is that really him? But then you're able to figure it out with how many different clues they drop. Yeah. And it just would have been a little different. It would have been a little bit more suspenseful.
What'd you think about Alien Vision? Meh. I think I could have gone without it.
I could have gone without it.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see things from his perspective. Like, I really didn't. Like, there was no need for that. We've never had it before, I don't think. Yeah, no. Have we? Mm-mm. Am I crazy? Resurrection?
You know what? Possibly Resurrection. Possibly. I don't think I've seen Resurrection all the way through. I think I've only seen bits and pieces of it.
Maybe.
So I don't know. Possibly. I just remember there was a swimming alien, and then the alien gets sucked out of the little hole. That's what all I remember.
Yeah. That's I don't remember. Exactly.
Anyway. What else,
dude? One of the cool reveals and one of the things that really got me in the movie, and I think it was at that point that I was like, yes, this is a good movie. Is when they reveal that Elizabeth was like the first to get what it seems like was the first to get like the face hugger. And true xenomorph like coming out of her, like because. You don't see it. I didn't see it coming. I was like, what the hell? Like, did he do, man? Yeah. It was at that point that I was like, oh, damn, like, this is for real. This is where it's going.
And like, he said it, like, and basically the whole thing is, like, David did it because he was bored. Like, and because he could. Yeah. You know, and just because, you know, I can't, he's like, I've been programmed. I can't have any free thoughts, but I can definitely try to create something. And that's why I created this. I created the perfect being, which is that they are the perfect killer.
Evil.
Yeah, they're just the perfect killer, you know. Yeah, which is crazy. Which is like Ridley Scott's whole man creates machine, machine gets smart.
Creates demons.
Creates demons, kills man. So the whole circle of death, you know, just You know, we did it to ourselves, you know, in that situation, trying to find our creators, you know. So I think that's crazy. And you know what, in the long scheme of things, yes, that's a great story, and, you know, really gives a really in-depth philosophical, you know, reasoning behind the whole alien, you know, just from a scary, like a horror movie. I don't know. I thought it was good. I think it was beautifully shot, of course. You know, everything looked awesome. Yeah. You know?
It looked really good. Did you get scared a lot? Or is that not your thing? Do you not normally get scared?
I don't think I do, man. I think, you know what's funny is, like, I was more tense in the trailer that they showed for It Comes at Night.
Oh, really?
Than the entirety of the movie. You know, I really didn't jump scares. I mean, it was gruesome. It falling out of his back, that was an amazing scene.
Yeah.
And just like the sounds of like his tail whipping around and like slicing up people, that was really cool. And just the way they looked, I liked the hybrid progression of whatever they take over is like it absorbs their DNA, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I didn't even think about it, man, like how in the first one, of course, yes, the snake, the worm kind of became the cobra, and the thing that's inside her, Elizabeth Shaw, is actually just his sperm. Like, that's a xenomorph sperm. Like, I was like, man, that's freaking crazy. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. I was like, why does it look that? That's weird.
Yeah.
But then there's called a neomorph, is the white one.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the white ones, they're all crazy looking, and it kind of looked like, oh man, it reminded me of the Demogorgon.
A little bit, yeah.
Right? You know, he's all like wet, sweating, breathing heavy out of wet nostrils. I don't know where he's breathing from. Maybe it's fin or whatever.
I loved how, like, when it closed its mouth, it almost completely disappeared.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that part was pretty cool.
Really unique design, and you know, you can see the gradual progression for it to become like the alien that we all know. So I mean, what? Because there's supposed to be 2 other films after this. Like, what? Like, where can it go? Like, what do you think?
I mean, you could really follow, like, him going over to the new world. Like, you can do that. You can leave it for Discovery. Like, maybe Walter is still there. Maybe Walter's going to take some of these aliens and go somewhere else. Yeah. Like, really to start. I mean, we haven't even hit LV 426.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know where it could possibly go. I mean, it feels like there is story, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a couple places where they can kind of take off and go into. And
I want to see, like, where does that line up? Like, where is the point where they find the crashed ship and they find the engineer sitting in that chair, you know, with a chest burster out of it, you know?
Yeah.
So now we have the official alien. Now, like, where's the next step? Like, now we have it. It's created. The xenomorph is alive and well. Where is it? Like, where's that scene going to come in? So hopefully they line up. Hopefully Ridley Scott doesn't eat it before then.
Do you want to see it tie all the way into, like, that
I would, man. Because I think that's what this whole thing is about, is like tying it all in. Yeah. And then maybe, okay, the next movie, tie it, like, butt it up against the Alien the prequel, like the original Alien, and then do a proper, like, Ridley Scott 3rd or 4th movie. Like, redo the 3rd one, post. Or, you know, just do an all new movie, like maybe before Alien and before Aliens.
Yeah.
And after Alien, like a 1.5.
You think so?
I don't know.
It might be cool to see, like, a true, like, Alien 3 that isn't that whole crazy thing that happened in actual Alien 3. Yeah. And maybe even, instead of bringing back, like...
Ellen Ripley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing back Ripley, like, maybe go Newt.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be an awesome
a grown-up Newt, like, now, kind of maybe who's had this vendetta and wanted to kill them all.
Yeah, because there's the comic series that kind of follows the story of Newt and Hicks.
Yeah.
And Newt is they come back to Earth. It's them. It's like they both have, like, severe PTSD. Like, they both have night terrors, but, like, Hicks, being in the Marines, is able to, like, cope with it better than she is.
Yeah.
So she has to go through therapy, and it's kind of like they almost lean it into, like, like romantic relationship, but not really, because
Okay.
it's you know, but it's more like they're both taking care of each other because they've both been through this terrible thing, and them being reintroduced into the whole alien kind of thing. So I think it's crazy. I think that'd be really awesome to do. So
Yeah,
I think you're right.
that'd be awesome.
Yes. So all in all, good movie. I think I enjoyed it. John, you did too. So.
I did. It was really cool.
So definitely check it out if you're into the whole thing. And did John crap himself?
No.
Okay.
I think he was able to hold it in.
Nice. We didn't need to bring the diapers out.
So no, we didn't. That's my barometer for how scary a movie is. Sean only had to cover his eyes or cover his ears and close his eyes twice.
Really?
In the movie, so that's about the scary scale of this thing.
Oh, okay. So what's full blown? Can't sleep at night.
Can't sleep at night is 5 or more. Anything 5 or more, that's like that's too much.
Oof.
If two is okay. 2 is creepy and a little gory, but not bad. 1 is almost nothing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like most movies. I think Split for him had 1.
Yeah.
So
okay. We're okay. Nice.
So yeah, two's not a big jump in the scale.
Well, right on. Well, sir, until our next meeting, where can these fine people find us?
People can find us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. There's one more.
SoundCloud.
I was going to say that one later, but just search Kenobi's Corner on those things if you want to interact with us and be able to communicate with us. Give us show suggestions, give us personal life suggestions, give us things you don't want us to do on the show anymore, or maybe do want us to do on the show. That'd be nice too. A good way to communicate with us in all those platforms. You can also find us on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Kenobis-Corner, or just go to kenobiscorner.rocks. And we'll get you over to the same page to be able to listen to the podcast there, and also comment sections for each one of the episodes that are posted on there. Other than that, we are in iTunes and Google Play under Kenobi's Corner. If you listen to a podcasting platform mostly for all your other podcasts and we don't happen to be on there, please just let us know and we can do our best to try to get on that platform as well, so that way you can get everything all in one place. But in most places, you can find us as Kenobi's Corner.
One-stop shop.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
on. Well, until that time, my friends, take care of yourselves. Well, enjoy yourselves also. Well, take care of yourselves and each other.